Good afternoon, Rotarians.
Good afternoon.
Jim heard that one.
It was a good,
Hot
strong beat.
Wow, I feel like Will Ferrell. Tim, we're going to give Mike one more break since he starts full-time next week. Well, actually, a week after next. Y'all remember next week we do not meet because of 4th of July. If you come here, you won't see anyone. Tim, if you'll open us up, that'd be great. Thank you.
Heavenly Father, for the fellowship at these tables, for the wonderful food that we enjoy, for the many ways you're able to use Rotary to make a difference in this community, we certainly give you thanks. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the gift of life, the gift of this day, and just the gift of your love that knows no end. It's in your name that we pray.
Amen. If you'll join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Scott, do you mind doing Happy Bucks for us? I don't want you to sit back down. I caught you just in time.
I got changed. I think they'll.
All right, what are you happy for today?
I'm happy that our July 3rd event is going to be a success.
It is going to be good. What are you happy for, man? Peach cobbler. It was delicious. John, what are you happy for?
I'm happy that Matt Furman remembered his debt and paid me back the $1.
Vacation, wonderful speaker. What are we happy for?
I'm happy that this is the last Happy Buck I have to put in up front.
And in a break from my normal, I'm happy that you did such a great job with your 2 years. And happy we had two good incoming winners.
Thank you.
Good in the world. Thank you for giving.
Thank you, Scott. I do believe we have at least one visiting Rotarian, Susan. Y'all know Susan Jackson. Thank you for coming and visiting from the Greenwood Club, correct?
President-elect.
President-elect? You should have talked to me beforehand. Well, congratulations. I can say that because Amber and Ashley are both not here. So, anybody else? No? All right. So thank y'all. Thank you, Susan, for coming. Thank y'all, everyone else, for being here. Victoria and Kim were able to go to the District Awards program last Friday. I appreciate them doing that. And the Rotary Club, I'm going to talk here in just a little bit about just what y'all have done. I know that I kind of give everyone grief about me serving 2 years, but it's really what y'all have done. It's not about me. I'm just the one who was willing to stand up here every week. Y'all as a club, we earned a membership champion award. Victoria said we were actually like second place for gaining the most members this year.
6 people.
So yeah, we had 6 new members. So congratulations to Rotary Club Lawrence for that. And we also received the Gold Governor's Excellence Award for those of you who are incoming presidents, past presidents, etc. Y'all know that we earn those individual points for the things that we do. For those of you who haven't been in those roles and don't see those spreadsheets and the things that we have to fill out, essentially, you know, when we give to Polio Plus and when we help with backpack and when we participate, we have a certain number of participants within our club. When we send someone to a RILA or an exchange or something like that, we get points for those things. And I believe that this is, did you have gold both years, Scott, or did you have one silver?
I think both gold.
Okay. We've done really, really well, and I think that's why Assistant DG Kimberly spoke last week just about how well respected we are in our district by just our participation and giving back. That's not an easy thing to do, I'll be honest. You know, you can't just kind of make up some stuff and put things down on the spreadsheet. They do question it. There were a couple things I put down that I thought we had done, and they kind of look back and they're like, I don't think you officially did that in regards to just some of the social media kind of stuff we do. We do a lot, you know, on the web, but we haven't necessarily done some of those specific things within the district that I thought we had done. So it's always good to kind of learn and know so that you can kind of pass on that information to future leadership. So I do thank y'all for going, and congratulations to y'all for winning both of those awards. Next, I'm gonna, hopefully y'all saw the slideshow. I couldn't let the slideshow run and see my speech. So we're having to transition just a little bit. We do have a speaker as well here in just a little bit, Mayor Clinton, Randall. Looking forward to having him speak and Jeff's at least 15-minute long introduction. But I'm going to just briefly kind of talk about what we have done in the last year. And you know, it's more than just getting some good food with Mr. Ray. You know, every Thursday. You know, we've done some good in the world, a lot of good in the world, while also enjoying the food, fellowship, fundraising, and friendships. I don't know about y'all, but some of my best friends are either sitting in this room or I've met them through Rotary and they happen to not be here today. So I think that's key. You know, we joined locally to provide food to both young and old here in Lawrence County. For backpacks specifically, and I thank Miss Edie for keeping up with these numbers. Y'all know me, I'm not exactly the most organized person, but the total number of days packed were 32 for this year. We had 18 people in the club participate, so that's great. It's not just a handful of us doing throughout the whole year. We had 18 total participate. We packed 50 bags of food for E.B. Morris every single week. For a total number packed is about 1,600 meals that we've given out for kids for backpacks specifically. You also know we help with Meals on Wheels. So you know that's just one of the things that we do. You know, we also join Rotarians throughout the world to continue the push to eliminate polio. I know y'all heard some updates on that in recent weeks. I think there's just a couple of countries that we're still trying to eradicate that, and we're so close. This year we did exceed our goal for Polio Plus. That's donations that we give specifically to polio. We gave a total of $2,875, and that even surpassed what we gave last year. So I do appreciate y'all you know, stepping forward and giving to that. We also had another great group of you who gave over and above to achieve Paul Harris Fellows. I know that there are several that need to be recognized. I'll personally say that's completely on me. I've already told Amber, be prepared Susan, be prepared. As soon as your name goes as official president, they start mailing stuff to your house. It does not go to the Rotary P.O. box, okay? So just be prepared for that. I know I wasn't necessarily aware of that, but that's totally fine. But I've already kind of talked with Amber about, hey, making sure that we're going to recognize everyone who's gotten those in the last year or possibly more, just in regards to kind of compiling that stuff. Again, I do apologize for that, but thank you all each for those of you who have given to that goal. Through today, we've also given $8,020 total to the Rotary Annual Fund. I will say that this is just a little bit short of our goal to continue our $175 per capita. Basically what that does is if we give it a level of $175 per capita for our members, then it basically doubles how much money we get in the district grant back to do backpacks. So essentially our grant went from $2,500 a couple years ago. This coming year it's going to be $5,000. If we can get it above $175 per member, it will be that again the next year. So I will just say if anyone would like to make an additional donation to try and make that happen, please let us know. If not, then you know I think we are able to kind of pull some from the fund to be able to fund that. We also secured multiple external grants and donations for our backpack and literacy programs. It's continually been a blessing. I know every single time that we meet as a board, we always remind ourselves, and y'all should remember this too, you know, we're not guaranteed those grants every single year. We've been very blessed. I think some of those we've gotten like 5 years in a row. But you know, that's just something we always want to be aware of and kind of just being on the forefront of thinking about how we can improve, how we can grow those things, and if something happens and we don't get one of those grants, how can we potentially find other funding through fundraisers or other avenues. We're able to also continue our scholarship program through USC Union and Piedmont Tech. I'm thankful for Patty keeping that in track and online, as many hurdles as that can take for sure. I wanted to just say thank you for all that you, as in the entire club, have done. Thank you for giving your time, by cooking, selling duck race tickets, helping apply for and or present grants, donating money, and speaking to others about the importance of Rotary in Lawrence, and also asking folks in the community to come and speak. I know that we've had some, I think, from my memory and looking back at my notes, I think my anniversary at Rotary is in July. I know I've been reminded by some pictures of what I looked like then, or even what I looked like before presidency. Y'all know how those American presidents, you kind of look at them, you know, and then how they look. I think we all probably get a little more wisdom with the years, but I will just say that you know, thank y'all for bringing good speakers, because I mean I can think back to the I think almost 8 years now that I've been in Rotary, and there have been a few that we have every single year. You kind of are supposed to do that, right? But we've had a pretty varied group, and very few have kind of come back and given the same information. A lot of times if they do come back, it's something different or an update and that kind of thing. And we usually have a great varied group, so I do thank y'all for doing that. We've had a lot of challenges since 2021, but we overcame, and we've grown in the process by the membership medal and that kind of thing. You know, I know that many of y'all know there's been a bunch of increases in regards to inflation across the board and that kind of thing. I will also say Rotary is not without these hurdles. In fact, our club has had an increase in cost per member internally by over $150 in the last 2 years. It's actually $153.80. The board has kind of talked about this the last, I don't know, what, 2, 3, 4, 6 months, you know, just because Rotary International does give us kind of information, hey, coming ahead, there's going to be increases continually. Some of those obviously are food, but some of those are specific to Rotary International, district dues, insurance, those other things that we all have to cover. Because of that, our board did decide that we will have to increase our dues for the first time in a very, very long time. I know that, again, almost 8 years, it's never been raised that I know of, and from talking to others, I think 10 to 15 years potentially is the last time that we did have a raise. So it will increase $25 to $375 every 6 months. I know that's not a good thing. I don't like increases in anything in regards to thinking about council or anything like that. However, you know, we've had to eat $150 plus for each and every member. So this goes a small way to be able to do that, and we feel like we won't have to increase in the future based off of that amount. So I will say that if anyone, again, I'm not a good one to ask for money, but if anyone wants to donate or do more just to kind of help offset those costs even more, please let us know. We'll be happy to coordinate. So now 23-24. We, especially I, look forward to Amber taking the reins the week after next. Remember, if you show up next week, there will be no food. There will be no one here, right? If more than one of you show up, y'all go somewhere to eat, and you know we might give you a makeup, okay? But otherwise, there's no official meeting next week. And when we start that, that'll also be the start of the 23-24 year, which we will begin our celebration for our existence for 100 years at that point. So that's something that I think that we definitely want to continue to remember, and that excitement. Being a Rotarian means a lot of different things to each and every one of us. We all come from different backgrounds and experiences, and together we can make a difference. We have many talents to share, and we should often be reminded that Rotary is much more than a good lunch by Mr. Ray on Thursday. When we all participate in Rotary service projects and giving, everyone benefits. We're called to make a difference and should do so on a daily basis, not just on Thursday at lunch when we put $1 in the bucket. As Rotarians, we're called to give to others over ourselves. There are many in our communities and across the world who need assistance. I ask that we band together as a club continue what our club has done we're right on the brink of 100 years. As a club, we're on the verge of something great, and we want to continue to work that into our lives. This is, just remember this year's, my last year's theme is Imagine Rotary, so imagine what we can kind of do together. With that, I'm going to pass the microphone on to Jeff and let him introduce Mayor Randall.
All your time up here, I'm just going to say, Randy, you come up here, and this is the introduction. No, I got time for it. So, come on up here. Well, we enjoyed you.
Thanks, Jeff. That was just like I wrote that introduction. That's what people always say. Well, I appreciate being here. It's good. I see a lot of folks. I know about everybody in here, so that's a good thing. And also, when you talk about speakers, you talk about the same thing. I look around in here and I figure, most of y'all wouldn't remember it anyway. So it's Patty, right? I'm just kidding. I was president of the Clinton Rotary Club the year King Dixon was the governor. So I still have PTSD from that year. And it was the hardest I've ever worked in anything I've ever done. So let me tell you, I don't really like to be a speaker. I like to be an MC, and I like to do little short speeches, especially when I'm on stage with other politicians, and especially when I come after them, because they say such weird stuff. It's fun to make fun of them. And Danny Burden won't go on stage before me anywhere now. Danny and I are good friends. We sing together. But I get him. He's so easy. But my favorite time I ever had as mayor, was we did a thing it was at the Baptist Church in Lawrence. And we were doing the state of the county thing. And we all had 4 minutes. And so the mayors got up, and in the situation that we were in, it was funny. Mayor Sharon Brownlee was the mayor in Lawrence then. And she's my good buddy, because she has taken care of my mama and my daddy with her folks that she hires. But she went first, and she was talking about how that nobody would really want to listen to Randy anyway, so she was going to take more time, and talked about the sheriff or the city police had really just busted a big crack house down on Main Street, and how everything was going really well. John Carter from Gray Court was talking about how he went to a meeting in Florida somewhere, and people thought he had a security detail. And Gary Long from Fountain Inn was talking about how he had been in a play in the Music Man in the theater up there. So I got up there and I said, well, gosh, I've already learned so much today. I said, Mayor Carter travels with a posse. Mayor Long is a song and dance man like myself, and there's a lot of crime in Lawrence. And Mayor Brownlee really got mad at me at that point in time. But I said some of the best training for being mayor or anything that I've done so far has been my theater background. So Patty Crane and I were in charge of the Lawrence County Community Theater about 100 years ago, and got it going well, and we're trying to reboot that now. Of course, y'all have the first Jim Barton. We had on our board, we had Jim Barton from Lawrence and Jim Barton from Clinton, and he is the original, so I'm glad to see you in here. So I've been, I started on Clinton City Council in 1996, got elected mayor in 2002, left to go to the Public Service Commission in 2013, retired from that in 2020, and now here I am back doing mayor again. So on the Public Service Commission, I said it was great because nobody we regulated the Public Service Commission really does much in Lawrence County. So I had a lot fewer people to holler at me, fuss at me, but it was so much fun. A lot of fun. We regulated investor-owned utilities, electricity, natural gas, water and sewer. Duke, E&G, which is now Dominion, Lockhart. things people didn't know, we did taxis, 2 men in a truck. When Uber came to the state of South Carolina, they just come in and start, and they're carrying people, so they technically would fall under the Public Service Commission. And we ordered a cease and desist order on them. And then the next day, on our Facebook, their Facebook page, the governor's Facebook page, Governor Haley called us 7 unelected bureaucrats standing in the way of technology and innovation. And so I suggested that we'd always been told by the General Assembly, we make the laws, y'all just carry them out. And I said, exactly right. So I said, we're going to grant them a temporary license, and we sent word to the PERC committee, y'all change the law, fit it how you want it. And that's what we did. So that was Uber's story coming in. Now, I was the chairman for the VC Summer nuclear plant failure. I chaired that entire ordeal. And so it was the most interesting thing. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a judge, although I have played both on stage. And I've been to a Holiday Inn Express too. But it was an interesting exercise in regulation and in utilities, and we learned a lot from it, and a lot of people learned a lot from it. But what it came down to at the end was that the Base Load Review Act, which had been passed by the General Assembly with only one person voting against it years ago, was the best thing ever entering in the nuclear renaissance, all of a sudden became the worst thing ever and was possibly unconstitutional, according to our General Assembly. And what I found out was that there were 4 of us who were up for re-election, and I said, and number one, let me say, Danny Burden, Mark Willis, and Doug Gillum were very supportive of us and supportive of me, and really helped me a lot and worked hard for me. But when you follow the law of the state that was passed without opposition, and you tell the truth, but it makes the General Assembly who hires you look bad, then they don't want you there anymore. So we didn't get reelected, which was a great thing as far as I'm concerned, because I retired to the hardest job I've ever had, which is keeping grandchildren. And I used to go home during the pandemic from keeping my 3 grandchildren, the youngest of who was 2. I'd go home and cry every night and tell Kim, I can't do this anymore. This is too hard. But I was the only one who was not essential. It was not essential to work. Now, after that, I decided I needed to talk to more grown-ups. And then the worst thing, though, is I have to wear grown-up clothes now. And that's not as much fun. But I've had people every week after I got off the Public Service Commission ask me to run for mayor again. And I didn't want to, but my wife got involved in it and putting the pressure on me. And so I finally decided we might as well be a part of this process and get back into the game. So ran, got elected, so here we are. So what's going on in Clinton? Very quickly, because I want to be short, because I've never been booed for finishing early. We've got a lot of things happening right now, and all of it's because of me. None of it's because of me, thank you. It's all because of folks that are working on it hard. Downtown business openings, we got the Pasture Restaurant, Aspen and Figs, Freshens, the music studio has come open. Of course, we had Stogie's. We've done a lot of ribbon cuttings. We've got contracts for redevelopment of 102 East Main, which is the old McGee's drugstore right there on the corner, right downtown. That's going to be nice to have that not be a boarded up old building. We've got funding from the General Assembly this year for more development for, we got given the Witten Center property. There's property on both sides of the interstate, and on the other side of the interstate, we've got to further developing our industrial park capabilities. So we got money for that. We've been working with the Trails Association on several projects, and some more to come later on that. We're renovating the fire and the police complex, and that's underway. And we got over 1,000 new residences that are either in planning or in construction phases right now. We got $5 million in grant funding for sewer rehab, and that's money that you never see, but you know, you can't do anything if you don't have sewer. Nothing else happens. Well, a lot of stuff happens, but none of it's good. USC Union at Lawrence has moved to Bell Street in Clinton, and it's going to be a wonderful addition to that school, to that area, and they're doing some really neat things in that whole program. So we're real excited about having them there. We've got a good partnership with Habitat for Humanity in Greenville. We've done some, and with Thornwell Farm, with the new farm, we've done. They're doing gleanings right now, where they're taking extra food, extra produce that folks, and giving it away to people that need it. And no questions asked, and they had the first gleaning yesterday, and are doing it as often as they can. So it's a good way to help folks that need more than others. We're doing an energy audit for the YMCA to help reduce operating expenses there. We're also, one of our newest things that's happening, it's been a little controversial on and off with a few people, not with me, the Bush River Resort, which is a sporting clays resort that's probably 40 acres of it is in the city of Clinton, the other 300 is in the county. It's going to be a neat, they're putting $20 million into it, so it's going to be a lot of, more will be coming out on that very soon. It has not been voted on finally, but it will be soon. We're going to have the DSS office, I think, is going to move into the municipal building down on the first floor where our school board used to be. So lots of things that are happening. There are lots of other, you know, we brag about the lumber yard. You know, we finally got a place to go drinking late in the afternoon. So that's a good thing for a lot of folks. And there are lots of other things in the works. So public service, being a mayor, is fun. It's aggravating, but it's worthy. I tell folks it's worthy. You know, being in city government is it's not always the easiest thing to do, but it's the most fun thing for me, and it's worth doing because you get to see things, get to see helping people up front, and you get to see it right in front of you. So, only other thing that I'm going to add is that tonight we have a U.S. Army band that's going to be up at the town square, up at the depot for patriotic music and for our downtown event this Thursday night to add our part into the celebration. So invite everybody to come at 7:30 downtown to the depot in Clinton. I appreciate you having me here. I appreciate the work that Rotary does here and all over the world. And with that, I'll say thank you.
Thank you, Randy. You probably have another 20 minutes if you needed it. Thank you for just the updates and information and things going on in Clinton, and appreciate that for sure. I think closing remarks, this is the last time I'm going to ring the bell officially. So again, I just thank each and every one of y'all for making it possible for us to have a club, making it possible for me to be up here, because if it was just for me running it, we'd be in a world of mess. I promise y'all that. All right, so if y'all stand, let's do our four-way test and our motto. Before we start, Susan, thank you for coming. Victoria, thank you for you and Kim going to the program as well. All right. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Our motto, service above self. Imagine Rotary Rotarians